Hi, my name is David Prosnitz. My company is Personnel Planners, and what we're going to be doing is creating a training film for our unemployment cost control service. It's going to focus on how to discipline and terminate employees and deal with employees at the time of separation. It's meant to help your company manage unemployment claims. If we terminate people according to the standards that unemployment thinks is proper for an employer, in effect proper, we will be rewarded by having fewer unemployment claims and lower unemployment tax rates. We're looking forward to doing these training sessions over the net. I realize that new clients are coming on board and I welcome them. We welcome the new Coca-Cola facilities in particular. I realize people are going to discover this training session over the net who are not clients. I recommend that you look at our website to see what we do. If you're a claimant and you're looking to find out information on how to apply for unemployment, please go to our links portion of our website. There you'll find a map of the United States with unemployment information on it. Go to your state, you'll find your local or your state unemployment web information, and that should help you file a claim. Nothing we're going to do today is meant to discourage anyone from ever filing an unemployment claim. The purpose today is just to train. And the purpose of this session, and there's going to be 3 sessions, the purpose of this session is to discuss what makes somebody eligible or ineligible for unemployment, and I'm going to talk from the standpoint of the nation as a whole. Each state varies a little bit off the theme that I'm going to give you, but the basic theme of unemployment eligibility is fault. If someone is not at fault for losing their job, they're supposed to collect unemployment benefits. And someone is not at fault if they've been laid off, if a business went out of business, if a business ceased operating due to a natural disaster, if they were fired for poor performance, because that's also not an individual's fault. If someone is hired for a job they can't do or can't meet employer expectations, it's generally a problem of inability. It's not a willful wrongdoing. It's not their fault, and they can collect unemployment benefits. The flip side of the eligibility standard is that if somebody is at fault for their separation from work, whether it is by some action that they did or by a choice not to work, in other words to quit, they're supposed to be ineligible for unemployment benefits. This is the basic standard throughout the entire country. States vary on, it's like a matter of style. They vary in terms, I don't know what the right word is, they vary in terms of strictness of enforcement or standards by which they say that it is somebody's fault. But the general notion is that if you're not at fault for unemployment, for being out of work, then you're supposed to be eligible for unemployment benefits. And if you are at fault for being out of work, you are supposed to be denied. The classic instance of being at fault is if you commit misconduct. And in general, for the whole country, misconduct is the standard by which they deny unemployment benefits. Misconduct is a willful or wanton act done against the best interest of the employer despite a known or reasonable rule where there was harm or potential harm to the employer. Different states have a different kind of enforcement of that standard. Indiana, for example, doesn't use quite misconduct. It uses something more like a reasonable cause, but it's basically the standard that is used to deny unemployment benefits. And it needs to be distinguished from poor performance. Misconduct is a willful act of wrongdoing, as I said, and poor performance is not willful. It's just the person couldn't do any better. The difference is I should have known better, which is misconduct, and I couldn't help the way I worked. I did the best I could. I couldn't perform. That's poor performance. They will only deny unemployment benefits for a willful wrongdoing because getting denied unemployment is a kind of punishment. It's a punishment that is made of people who are out of work and who need, often very critically, need money to survive. And they would only punish somebody and deny them this money if there was a willful wrongdoing for which the person was responsible. So unemployment is a very moralistic system. Poor performance is, if it's the basis for a separation, is not the basis for denying somebody unemployment benefits. And the employer needs to be very aware of that. And the first question that comes up that's critical for an employer is, hey, I've got this employee, they're not performing according to my standards, the quality of work isn't good enough, they can't do the job they were hired for, what kind of liability do I have? Well, there are two different kinds of state systems that charge for unemployment benefits. One does it on the basis of a percentage of the qualifying wages that are used to establish unemployment eligibility. And for those states, which are the vast majority of states, the shorter the time of employment, the better for somebody who is not able to do the job and therefore likely to qualify for unemployment benefits. In states like, I believe, Virginia, I think perhaps Texas, Illinois for sure, the last chargeable employer gets the full cost of the claim. And in Illinois, for example, if you employ somebody less than 30 actual days on the job, you're off the hook. So the first thing to learn regarding the eligibility standard is that it doesn't cover all separations. People who are fired for misconduct or who quit on their own are in general ineligible for unemployment, but people separated for poor performance are eligible, and the management thing to know about them is the shorter the time that they are at work at your place of employment, the better for you. And what we commonly recommend is that at a month's time you do a review to see if somebody is going to be a good employee, and if you have any doubts about their competence, you can let them go for a general reason like poor performance or unsatisfactory work, though it's best to follow the 4 rules that I'm going to be discussing in my next session. In any case, to summarize, what we've just discovered is the basic standard for eligibility with unemployment. If it's not your fault, you can get unemployment benefits. If the separation is your fault, whether by misconduct or voluntary leaving or refusing a reasonable job or not looking for work, when you're out of work, if that's the reason why you're still unemployed, it's your fault, and they will deny benefits. And there is then the complicating issue of incompetence, which management should deal with by having early reviews of new hires on the job. Thank you very much.